Right, guys, good evening, and I just want to say welcome to the Sleep Smarter workshop. We're very glad to have you. I'm glad that you could all make it out. Sorry that we got a little delayed. Technology is great when it works. It's a pain when it doesn't work. I'm sure you all have experience with that. But I am really excited that you're here because tonight we're going to dive into one of the most underrated superpowers that you already have, but one that hardly anyone ever teaches you about, and that is sleep. So before we get started, I have a couple housekeeping items, you could say. And so when you came in, you should have gotten a packet. It has sleep tips, it has routines, product information, and this is all to help you to reset your nights and then actually wake up feeling like a normal functioning human being. So if you didn't grab one of those, now would be a good time. Also, if you need to use the restroom or grab some snacks, they're all really good in the back. So get that now while you can. And then I just ask that you would take a moment and silence your phones because we are way too connected to technology, and that is a distraction that we just don't need. There's actually this study that shows that if you're focused and you get distracted, it takes about 28 minutes for your brain to get refocused back on what you were doing previously. So let's give our brains a fighting chance tonight, and please silence those. And then because you're here live, you do get a discount on our products. So if you get 1 to 2 products, that's 10% off. 3 or more is 15% off. And then our sleep bundle is 20% off. So we'll talk more about that later tonight. And then a fun fact to kind of kick us off is that there's some studies that show that when your spine is misaligned, your brain has to work up to 30% harder just to communicate with your body. And when your nervous system is stressed, your quality of sleep drops almost immediately. So the translation of that is if your spine is out of balance, your sleep will be too, and kind of vice versa. So that brings me to the man that you're about to hear from. And for about over 30 years, actually, Dr. Pete, he's been helping people sleep better, heal faster, and wake up feeling like a human being again. And I think we all need that from time to time. So he is not just a chiropractor, but he's a certified sleep nerd. So he's a nervous system whisperer and also a man on a mission to help people live out their God-given purpose in full health. So I promise you guys that if you're open tonight and if you're, click the button, if you're ready to sleep deeper and to stress less and to just reset your nervous system in general, then you are in the right place. And I'm really glad that you're here tonight. So please join me in giving a very warm welcome to the man, the myth, the sleep legend, Dr. P. Woo!
How do I follow that up? Wow. Whew. Exactly. Gotta catch up on that. All right, so thank you for being here tonight, because I know that you could spend your time anywhere else, with TV, with stuff, but it's also nice because it's so cold, because, better to be in here where it's warm and learning something than out there. So sleeping smarter, unlocking the power of rest for better health. Sickness is their business, and business is good. Yeah. We see an increase of heart disease, cancer, diabetes, autism, Alzheimer's, and it's so prevalent, and it's higher in this country than any other country. We're spending, and the thing of it is we're spending more in this country compared to any other country on healthcare. But you guys know it's not really healthcare that we're spending the money on. It's about profits. It's not about people. Brigham Bueller, a health advocate who regularly testifies before Congress. Here's what he said. So the same folks who own pharmaceutical and food companies, who have the most to gain by keeping the narrative the same and driving America towards chronic disease crisis and monetizing your chronic disease. Whether pharmacy benefit managers, insurance companies, hospitals, pharmaceutical companies, front to back, top to bottom, we've lost our way. It's all about quarterly earnings and quarterly profits. It's not about health and true health care. So tonight's workshop is called Sleep Smarter. And I'm going to give you 3 powerful tools to help you and your loved ones have better sleep. I know it's something that I've grown in over the last couple of decades, and it's made a big difference. It's made a big impact in my life. I know the number 2 thing that people say, besides being in less pain, feeling better, the second thing people say is after getting chiropractic care, like consistently, like, hey, I'm sleeping better. And if you're sleeping better, you're healing better. All right. So sleep is a crucial part of it. So how many have been to at least one workshop? Raise your hand. Yes. All right. Awesome. And how about if we jump that up to 5? How many have done 5 workshops? All right. Good. And how about double digit? Anybody 10 or more? All right. These people know what's going on. Awesome. Okay. So jumping right in here. Poor sleep wreaks havoc on our brains. All right. So 60 million adults have experienced mental illness at some point in the last year. 1 in 5 young people from ages 12 to 17 have experienced at least, have experienced at least one major depressive episode in the last year. I just had someone walk into church and they saw me and they started bawling. And it was like, oh, not in a bad way. It was just like, I'm so glad, just because I'm starting to have an episode. I'm starting to lose it. And I sat down with them during church. I was like, well, first of all, let's get you into church, see what God has to say. But before you do that, I just got to ask you one quick question. Is there anything that you could do to help your depression? And the first words out of his mouth was, well, I could sleep better. I could eat better. I'm like, okay, do that. You might still be depressed, but at least let's find out. All right, let's at least find out. But it was amazing. He went to church and he walks out and he goes, I feel better already. Yes. All right. So also what we notice here is children aren't getting enough sleep. And so what happens is, if we go around the horn here, we see a 50% increase of aggression issues, 72% increased risk of anxiety, 75% impulse. They have trouble controlling their impulses. They have concentration, 68% increase of concentration problems, and 97% risk of depression. So it is an epidemic. Now, there is some dangers of sleep medication. What happens is with sleep medication, let's go back to this, how sleep wreaks havoc on your brain. There was a study done a decade from 2000 to 2010, and it tracked close to 10,000 women ages 22 to 25 for a decade. And what they found out was women reporting frequent sleep difficulties were significantly more likely to develop depression and anxiety. Being sleep deprived has been linked to dementia. What happens is that it also increases beta amyloid proteins in the brain. These are the same ones that are found in Alzheimer's. And so what happens is that leads to cellular death, sleep fragmentation, and memory decline. So just a lot of bad things happen when your body doesn't get enough sleep. Now, when it comes to the dangers of sleep medication, there was a bus driver here recently that he crashed into a brick wall, 17 kids on his bus. He took Ambien the night before. He was arrested for driving under the influence. So this was a prescription that was prescribed by his medical doctor, and and this is happening all over our country. Whenever I tell my teenagers, especially, to be safe driving, I'm like, you can't just be aware of yourself when you're driving. You have to be aware of everybody else on the road. And the problem is there's way too many people that are out there. And it's not just the Saturday night drinking crowd. It's the didn't get any sleep crowd. It's the, popping pills because, I was prescribed this crowd. And so you have to be on guard because this is happening, not just in Colorado, this is happening all over the country. So how much sleep do we need? Right? Well, it depends. It depends on how old you are, right? And so if you take a look at this list, it's like, okay, newborns, they sleep a lot. Yes, they do, right? Eat, sleep, and poop, right? So newborns, they sleep a lot, right? But then as you go and as you progress here, that sleep requirement goes down. Now, when we're talking about, when we're talking about, yes, it's been documented that pregnant women need more sleep. But this is where kind of the ballpark as far as what's needed. All right. So women need about 30 minutes more per night than men. All right. Most adults can get by with 7 to 8 hours. Right. Here's the problem: the average American gets 5.5. Prior to me jumping in and really looking at this, for years I lived off of 4.5. And it wasn't because I couldn't sleep. It was just like, okay, I got so much to do. But then I started to look at it and I'm like, how it's affecting my health. It's like, okay, I need to change this. So this is something that I've grown, and I've gone from, 4.5 to 6. And now I'm like, okay, there's days where I'll actually get 7.5. It's like, all right. So I know if I can change, you can change, right? It's the whole Rocky, like, if I can change, you can change, we all can change, right? So, but I don't wonder why there's just so much depression, so much anxiety, so much dementia. I really believe that sleep is a crucial part of this. All right. There's 4 stages of sleep. The average sleep cycle is 90 minutes. So if you want to take a nap, take a 90-minute nap, because that's a full cycle. And you're going to be, have you ever noticed, like, sometimes you wake up and you're well rested, and sometimes you wake up and you're just like, you're kind of groggy? I really believe it's because you didn't honor that 90-minute cycle, right? So try to do it in increments of 90. So this is something like, instead of getting 8 hours, you might be better with 7.5 hours, right? Just because it kind of fits, it falls into that 90-minute cycle. So stage 1 is light sleep. I know the print is a little bit small, but stage 1 is light sleep. It's a transition between being awake and being asleep. All right. Usually doesn't last too long, hopefully. Lasts around 5 to 10 minutes. That's stage 1. Now stage 2, this is where the body temperature drops, your heart rate begins to slow down, the brain begins to produce sleep waves, and that lasts a little bit longer. That's 20 minutes. Then you have stage 3, right? Stage 3 gets good. This is where the healing happens. This is the deep sleep. This is where your growth hormone peaks, your neurons relax and repair, memories consolidate, metabolism is regulated, even your appetite control stabilize. So what that tells you is lack of sleep, lack of deep sleep is going to make you hungry, right? So if you're having an issue with weight, one of the things is you got to check to see, like, how often are you getting deep sleep, right? And here's the thing is, stage 3, this happens most early at night. So if you're staying up watching Netflix, watching a movie, reading, right, you're going to miss out on that deep sleep. You're going to miss this stage. And then lastly is stage 4, and that's REM sleep. This is where your brain becomes more active. If you remember, with sleeping, everything slows down except your brain and nervous system. So that's why it's so important to get this, stage 3 and especially stage 4. This is where your body becomes more relaxed, dreams occur, you have rapid eye movement, right? But isn't your body incredible? Yeah, pretty incredible. All right, and something we'll be getting into is what we call sleep levers. These are really important. Lightness and darkness, temperature, food and supplements. So that's what we're going to focus in on. That's where we're headed. All right. Does anybody have a tracker at all? A sleep tracker? Does anybody track their sleep? Okay. See, everybody behind the desk. Turn around and look. And how did you know about sleep tracking? What got you going on sleep tracking? Huh. Weird. So there's many different things you can get a watch, you can get a ring. It's gone from $400 to $300 to now they're down to like $50, and it's a one-time thing. So highly recommend it. You can buy them on Amazon. And someone actually wore all 3 different rings, and they're like, you know what? They're all pretty close, and they give you so much data. They give you so much information, and this has really helped me because now I get a sleep score. Yes. The first ring that came out was called the Aura ring, and it's $400 plus a $7 monthly subscription fee. Then after about a year, RingCon came out, and it was just a one-time $300 fee. And I'm like, okay, sign me up. I should have waited a little longer because this year, that's where some competitors are. And just like technology, right? It becomes cheaper. So for $50, you get some great information. That's a great question. I'll get that information to you. So if you can, everybody that's attended here, I'll send you a link. And no, I don't get anything for it. It's just, it's like I said, it's about $50, and you can get that from Amazon. But it's a great way to track, and it gives you a score. It tracks your stages that we just talked about. So this is the light stage. This is the second stage. This is the third stage, and this is the deep stage. So if you notice, what happens is that deep stage occurs early on, not later on. So if you're staying up late, like I always used to do, it really short circuits that deep sleep. And so then what happens is you get, it measures a lot of different things. Time out. All right, we're back. So I have an app on my phone that it'll link to, and then I can turn on Bluetooth for a moment and see here. So it gives me a score. So I'm going to just take this morning or yesterday. So it broke down my score. It gave me an activity score of 99 out of 100. Yes. So I put on 16,000 steps, 16,700 steps. Right. I never have a problem with activity because I usually got a lot going on. So my Achilles heel has always been sleep. So now we touch on sleep. So it gives me a sleep score here, 76, and then it breaks it down. It let me know how much I slept. So my time in bed was 6.5 hours, but I only slept 6 hours, right? So I got a 76. Then it talks about, so you can see my where I hit my deep sleep at. And then it broke down my awake time, my REM time, my light sleep time, and my deep sleep time. My heart rate, my average heart rate, my HRV, which we talked about the last talk, how important that is. That's a really great indicator on how healthy you are. And then my oxygen saturation rate. So my average heart rate was 49 while I slept. So 49 beats per minute. My HRV was 56, which is great for my age. And then oxygen saturation rate was 95 out of 100. My skin temperature, my respiration rate. So I take 15 breaths a minute, excuse me. Right. It shows me how efficient I am. So I'm 93% efficient. So then what happens is I have this information. Now, if you don't use the information, it's no good. So I wouldn't recommend going out and purchasing a ring. But if you're going to do something about it, because I'm super competitive, surprise, surprise. And so, of course, my wife will ask me, so what was your score? Like, oh, right, I got a 76. And she'll be like, well, I got an 83, you know? So bragging rights. So she got bragging rights for today. But then it also lets me, I mean, it's a great way to actually apply. And then you can experiment. So now what I've been doing is I've changed my meals to where I'm now eating morning and early afternoon. I'm not eating because by the time I got home, it would be 8:30, and then I'd eat. And what I've noticed is my score's gotten better since I've stopped eating later at night. My wife noticed she used to have just a half a glass of wine, and she noticed her sleep score got worse. So she no longer, she very seldom drinks wine. And it was just half a glass. And she thought, oh, it relaxes me. Ah, that's not what it's like. People saying like a cigarette relaxes you. It doesn't. So the effects of alcohol definitely affect your sleep. And that's what she noticed. So highly, highly recommend. And then you can just kind of check different things and see, like when you do different things, how does it affect my sleep? Questions? All right. So light and dark. Light and dark. Gotta shut my phone off. Airplane mode. All right. Sunlight. Sunlight. Very important. Sunlight exposure in the first 30 minutes is important, right? Because that's what's going to activate your melanin cycle. You also need to have your room pitch black. So no night lights. I've been asked this before. Can I have a night light? No. No, I have a flashlight by my nightstand. So if I have to get up, if one of the kids or if I need to get up, or you need to check on something, like I'll have a flashlight, but I don't have a night light. All right. So it should be pitch black. So test this out. One of your homework is tonight, like you shouldn't be able to see, like it should, you ever take a cave tour and they shut off the lights? And it's like, you shouldn't be able to see your hand in front of your face in your bedroom, right? It should be that black, right? So make sure that you're blocking out the shades, right? You're covering the windows, you're covering all the lights that are in your room, even, yes, I have black tape, like electrical tape. It doesn't affect the smoke detector. I put it on the light so you can't see those little lights, because that actually directly impacts and it messes with your hormones. And especially like when you go to a hotel or someone else, like another bedroom, like you're like, it's amazing how much like light there is. So now one way around that is like wearing an eye mask, right? So it blocks out that light. There's a study of 103 US adults. They tracked them up for 70 days, only morning sunlight, not afternoon or evening, was significantly linked to better sleep quality the following night. So what this does is when you get up in the morning, it resets your cycle, that 24-hour cycle. And you don't have to stare at the sun, but you have to have, and I know it's harder because the sun's down lower, right? But really try to find some morning sunlight. If you can't find morning sunlight, or if we go through a patch of 3, 4 to 5 days and we don't see the sun, you want to get a happy light, right? And you can pick up a happy light for, I don't know, $20 to $40 online. There's another study with a 2-hour exposure to screens suppresses melanin by 23% in adults. And in adolescents, all it took was 1 hour of screen time. So by using your phones at night, that really messes with you. So one of the things you want to do is you want to get rid of this blue light. So what I did. What I did is now I don't have blue light, right? So anytime I have to use my phone, I'll use, and you can still read everything, right? It's just, try to show you right? So I can still read the text, I can still read everything, but it drastically, so you need to either wear the blue blocker glasses or get a filter for your phone. So you definitely want to change that, especially late at night. And when I say late at night, after the sun goes down. So use a blue filter or read a book, like, a regular book, right? We still make those. All right, temperature. Cold shower or cold plunge. So raising your body temperature stimulates the cortisol peak in the morning. This sets the clock, the melatonin cycle. Now you don't need a lot, just 30 to 60 seconds. And for those of you that are like, you can actually, follow it up with warm. There's no negative side effects of following up with warm, but that's all it takes, is just 30 to 60 seconds, right? So you can always end your shower with warm water. As an added bonus, this is, you prove to yourself that you can do hard things. Like, yep, I can do it, right? It helps me overcome my inner crybaby. The same voice that says, take the easy route, skip the gym, eat that donut. It's okay to have that piece of pie, right? Or whatever your thing is, it's like, right? So this is a great way to start your day. Anybody try a cold shower? All right. Once. Yeah. Yeah, the athletes know where it's at.
End my shower and shutting off the hot and then letting the cold water shock me a little bit.
Yeah.
That's how I end my showers.
Yeah. Yep. Nope.
It's a lot easier to get out of the shower too. Then it's not cold when you step out. You just freeze yourself and it's warmer when you get out.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Optimal temperature for sleep. So, optimal temperature for sleep, 65 degrees. Right? 65 to 68 degrees. So you want a cooler room temperature. Cooler room temperature, it promotes better sleep. Again, it supports your body's natural circadian rhythm. It involves that natural core in the core body temperature to signal like, okay, it's time to sleep now. All right. So now we talk about some other things as far as the 5 essentials, right? And this is what I've been promoting for a long time. And it's basically, it's chiropractic care, it's better nutrition, it's exercise, it's, decrease in toxicity. So sleep is this chemical symphony. So melatonin, inositol, L-theanine, they all work harmoniously together. So who you want to talk about? Sleep and mood. So Allison's going to talk about sleep and mood.
Yes, I will be talking about our sleep and mood product, which helps with quality of sleep and emotional balance. It contains the critical nutrients that are listed up there, plus more, that help regulate our body's natural sleep cycle and mood regulatory systems and to help them function optimally. So it has 5 plus benefits, but I'll just talk about 5. Promotes sleep quality and duration. So it has an optimal 3 milligram dose of melatonin, which helps regulate your natural sleep and wake cycle, making it easier for you to fall asleep and stay asleep. And it also has the 5-HTP in it, which that is not listed up there, but that's in it. And so that chemical actually helps, it can cross the blood-brain barrier, so it actually gets to you better. And so it helps convert serotonin, which supports mood stability, stress resilience, and emotional balance. A lot of people who have used this notice that they just feel better, like they have a better mood overall. It also encourages healthy relaxation. So the L-theanine in it promotes feelings of calm and relaxation without like sedating you, which is nice. How many of you guys have racing thoughts at night? I do a lot. Yeah, like that's not fun, right? So this actually, that L-theanine actually helps to quiet those racing thoughts and helps maintain mental clarity like during the day if needed. So it doesn't just help you at night, it helps you during the day. It has a comprehensive mood support. So the serotonin influences far more than our mood, and serotonin influences far more than our mood. It affects sleep quality, appetite regulation, impulse control, and stress response, which I didn't really know about until I started researching this. And so by supporting healthy serotonin levels, it's like a multifaceted wellness benefit. And then it helps you wake up feeling refreshed and not groggy. Like a lot of melatonin products or sleep products, you kind of wake up feeling groggy. I've heard that from a lot of people. But just because it has that smaller melatonin dose, it's carefully selected to support you so you can wake up without being groggy, so you can be refreshed. And I know a few of our practice members really love this product and it's really helped them. Yeah, no. I will find out. I'll look on the bottle to see what time it says.
There was a 2021 study done on done on the ingredients. And what they found out was people that took this consistently, they not only fell asleep faster, but they had an increase in REM sleep. So a lot of research behind it that it does work. All right, foods. And we know that foods can definitely impact our health, right? Positively and negatively, right? So they've proven that any caffeine after 2 p.m. has been shown to affect your sleep negatively. So for those of you coffee drinkers, for those of you that are chocolate, right? Because there's caffeine in chocolate, also in some teas, right? Make sure that you have that before 2 o'clock. And like I said, and this is where it's great because I've noticed the difference, and just eating the same amount of food, but just shifting it to earlier. It's like the body has a way to use that food, to use those ingredients, to use that caffeine, and it doesn't stay in your system. But the same is true with water, right? I just had someone, I won't name names, they're not here, but she was like, oh, you know what? And we were talking about sleep and leading up to this, and she's like, I get up to go to the bathroom at least 5 times a night. And so I'm like, wow, that's a lot. That really is going to affect your sleep. That's going to really affect just hormonally. And she's like, yeah, I know. And I'm like, well, how much water are you drinking? She's like, oh, I drink plenty. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure you do. I want you to stop drinking water after 2 o'clock, right? After 2 o'clock, not just caffeine, water. Drink the bulk of your water before 2 o'clock. And then she started arguing with me because she's like, I can't do that. I said, okay. And she goes, well, I got a big tall glass of water right by my nightstand. I'm like, well, take it away. Dump it out. It's okay. And so she's arguing with me. And I said, okay, listen, you came to me. You're the one that brought it up. Just try it. What do you have to lose? Just try it. At least 6 o'clock. Stop drinking water after 6 o'clock. Stop drinking fluid. Don't drink anything after 6 o'clock at night. She comes back in the next time for an adjustment. And she's like, you're not going to believe it. And you can about tell what she said. She's like, I didn't get up once. This is the first time I slept through the night. So sometimes it's easy. Sometimes it's an easy fix, right? But sometimes there's other things involved. So caffeine, no coffee, no chocolate after 2 o'clock. Limit that after 2 o'clock. All right. So waking up in the middle of the night is often caused by a histamine dump. So you want to avoid some high histamine foods, especially at night. What are those, you ask? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. All right. Tofu and soy sauce. Everybody's like, phew. All right, don't eat a lot of that. All right. Cheese. All right. Now this is like, again, all right. There you go. I'd say, again, try to stop eating and have your lightest meal. Have your heaviest meal for breakfast, for lunch, and have your lightest meal for dinner. So this is where cheese, mushroom, chocolate, yeast products, bread, sauerkraut, smoked fish, nuts and seeds, right? Food with vinegar, sweetened beverages, processed meat, fermented drinks. I'm a big kombucha. Anybody love kombucha? Yeah, we got a few of them here. So I'm like, right? Overripe fruits and leftovers, right? So those are the heavy histamines. So you really want to minimize these at dinner time. If you have to have them for breakfast or lunch where your body can, burn those off. All right, adrenal stress. Oh.
Real quick, before we move on to that, the sleep I move, it just says take daily. So would you recommend taking
Yeah, midday. Midday is fine. Yep. All right. Adrenal stress. Is this you? Do you feel wired and tired at bedtime? You know, a mid-afternoon slump, anxious, anxiety, depression, weight gain, immunity issues, brain fog, body aches. So what happens is our body is a one-way kind of fight or flight. And that works great if you're running for a bear, right? Your body works how it needs to. The problem is we've turned everything into a bear, right? That's our modern lives. So deadlines, emails, kind of stressed out, traffic, kids, right? So Jolene is going to talk about adrenal balance.
Adrenal balance. I'm going to start you off with a pop quiz.
Ooh.
Do you feel constantly tired even when you get enough sleep? Do you experience afternoon energy crashes or hit a wall? Do you feel weird but tired, exhausted yet unable to sleep? Do you struggle with brain fog or difficulty concentrating? Do you notice diminished ability to handle daily stresses? And do you want natural stress support without stimulants? If you answered yes to any of these, this is for you. Adrenal balance combines ancient wisdom with modern science to support the body's response to stress, balance cortisol levels, and restore natural energy without stimulants and sedatives. This formula includes an organic botanical blend featuring ashwagandha, rhodiola, and licorice root that provide calming effects and energizing support. Essential B vitamins promote cellular energy production, while an amino acid complex supports neurotransmitter function. Organic cordyceps mushroom adds natural energy to help maintain focus and resilience throughout the day. Drawn from Chinese medicine traditions, these healing herbs work to help the body adapt to chronic stress, support healthy cortisol rhythms, and build long-term resilience. So I've been taking this for a month now, and I've always had real big bags under my eyes. And because I now have balanced sleep, the weight that I've had has been lifted off of it. So I've noticed a difference just in a month.
And not only that, well done. Not only that, research of people using this, actually they did a double-blind, placebo-controlled student group. And over a 20-day exam period, so these students were tested daily over 20 days. And what they found is the students that took this versus the students that didn't, they had a reduction in fatigue levels and in just overall well-being. They were more relaxed. So it made a difference with that. All right, now we have magnesium. And Jenna's going to talk about magnesium.
Yay! Boy, I like your font better than my font. Our Pure Path
I'll let you use it.
Thank you. Multi-magnesium delivers the power of 3 highly absorbable forms of magnesium: glycinate, malate, and glycerophosphate. Combined with regenerative organic spinach and beet and a mushroom cellular health blend crafted to support over 300 essential biochemical processes, this formula supports energy, relaxation, muscle strength, stress, resilience, all at once. This clean, plant-forward formula is designed to calm your nervous system and reduce stress levels. Amazing. Boost energy production at the cellular level. Also amazing. Support muscle recovery and function, promote deeper, more restful sleep, and reduce inflammation naturally. The benefits are sleep support. Magnesium regulates melatonin and GABA, promoting deeper restorative sleep. Energy and vitality, plays a key role in the ATP cellular energy production. Muscle recovery, relaxes muscles, reduces cramps, and supports post-exercise recovery. Inflammation support, optimal absorption, calms your nervous system, and regenerates organic qualities. Pure Path Multi-Magnesium is ideal for you if you struggle with stress, anxiety, or poor sleep quality, experience muscle cramps, fatigue, or low energy, want a clean magnesium supplement without the fillers and artificial additives, and prefer a single high-quality formula that tackles cognitive, energy, recovery, and relaxation. For this one, you take 4 capsules by mouth daily.
All right, well done. So with magnesium, I love magnesium. My screen has other options, has a mind of its own here. So I love magnesium because it lowers body temperature for sleep and it helps you to get to sleep faster. So I know someone's going to ask, when you take it, I take most of my vitamins over lunch, but I will take magnesium like, yes, after 2 o'clock. Yeah. Yep. And what I love about it is it has it has multiple forms of magnesium. So that's why they call it multi. So there's the different forms of magnesium that are in there. So it lowers your body temperature, like I said, for sleep, helps you get to sleep faster. I've noticed it when I take it versus when I don't take it. My sleep score is actually better when I take it. So that's kind of because sometimes people are like, "Hey, do vitamins work?" And that's why I'm just curious. Like, I know they do, or else I wouldn't carry them. And I only carry the ones that work. There's a lot of them out there, but it's like, well, here's what I've seen to be most effective for people, and this is one that I can tell you for sure. It's like the nickname is nature's tranquilizer. It's very relaxing. It does make a difference. I notice, like I said, my sleep score goes up when I take magnesium compared to when I don't. Unfortunately, most Americans are deficient in magnesium. And so what happens is it's been linked to poor sleep, insomnia, but yeah, among other things, it boosts your immune system. It has anti-cancer properties, helps your heart. So it does a lot of things. All right. So brainwave frequency. So there's different types of brain waves. And what happens, I mean, you have gamma, you have beta, you have alpha, theta, delta, and what happens is you want to be an alpha or theta to get to sleep. But so many people, when they're, Allison had mentioned, if your thoughts are racing, if your brain won't shut off, you're usually stuck in the top 2 tiers in beta or gamma, right? So one way to get you to down here to the alpha or theta is breathing. The best way to do that is to slow your breath. It's called box breathing, where you do an inhale for 4, hold it for 4, and then exhale slowly for a little bit longer for a count of 6. So just kind of nice and rhythmic. And this really works. Box breathing is just a great practical thing that you can do for those of you that have trouble sleeping, is just to slow your brain waves by that slowed breathing technique. We talked about getting rid of getting rid of your blue light from your devices, right? We weren't meant to be tied to our devices all the time. 2015 and 2018 studies, reading from a light emitting e-reader before bedtime. So not a phone, not the blue light from a phone, but just a reader, right? A light. So reading from that light before bedtime delays melatonin onset, shifts your circadian rhythms later, lengthens the time to fall asleep, reduces evening sleepiness, reduces next morning alertness compared to reading a printed book. So I beg you, try it. use your blue filter, or better yet, read a book, right? You need to start winding down. We weren't meant to have these lights flashing in our eyes. All right. We're in the home stretch here. I want to briefly talk about chiropractic. And I have to, when I talk about chiropractic, I have to talk about the vagus nerve, right? The vagus nerve is very important. There's a lot of information out there. The vagus nerve is part of the parasympathetic nervous system. It allows you to rest and digest, right? This is, the vagus nerve is like it's like the I-35, it's the major highway. And you can actually stimulate the vagus nerve, not just by getting adjusted. We talked about this at length in my last 2 workshops, so I won't go big into it. If you want to, you can ask any of the ladies. I'll get you that information on how to help your vagus nerve. One of the best ways to do it outside of adjusting is the slow breathing, like we talked about. Humming with your mouth closed for 2 minutes will stimulate the vagus nerve. So just humming part of your favorite song will do that. And, of course, Carol's favorite, cold showers, cold exposure. So those are the ways to really stimulate that vagus nerve, right? But it does make a difference. And like I told you to start out, the number 2 thing that people tell me when they get adjusted consistently, because structure dictates function. So the better structure you have, so this is a person's curve from the side, their neck curve from the side. When you go from a straight forward head shift, which I see more and more of that with text neck, so you really need to get your devices, get your computers, get your TVs, get your phones up to your eyeballs. Do not bring your phones down to your devices. But you do that consistently by getting adjusted, and then obviously lifestyle, looking up at your devices when you do use them. Structure dictates function. So the better structure you have, the better your body will function, the better your body will sleep. Makes all the difference in the world. Lastly, I'm going to end with this. Don't be a pointer. Now, what we're talking about here is that here's a guy, and his name is Wesley. He was known as the subway hero. And what happens is he basically saved somebody's life. Someone got too close to the edge, fell off the edge, got stuck in the track, and everyone's pointing like, hey, there's someone down there, And it's so easy to point. It's so easy, it's kind of easy to point someone who's having a difficult time, but it's a whole other person to actually I'm going to help this person. So he jumped down and actually got him out when everyone else was just kind of pointing. So don't be a pointer is the whole point. All right. And we're going to wrap this up. So what do you got? What do you got for us?
What did
I miss?
See any takeaways?
Ooh, yeah. I don't know. What do you think?
You guys have any takeaways from the night?
What are you going to do? You're going to work on how are you going to work on sleeping better? What are you going to do different?
Don't drink water after 2:00.
Don't drink water.
Don't get up every 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and you can take a little sip, but don't take major, you really want to limit that after 2. Yeah, it's called a dry fast where you just limit that. Yeah. Anybody else? Takeaway.
Take my magnesium earlier.
Yeah. Yep.
Room darker.
Make the room darker. Yeah.
Just red light on the phone, I think would be a good thing.
Yeah.
Especially for my son at college.
Yeah, you can actually find out how to do that. Yeah, exactly, right? So all you do I set it up to where I just 3 clicks. So during the day, I 3 click it and it's good. And then at night, 3 click it. And you can get it to go on at certain times. So, but yeah, ask your kid. Yeah, he'll know how to do it.
The light with the winter, Roy gets up. Some weeks he doesn't see daylight till Saturday morning.
Yeah.
He gets up, it's dark, he leaves work, and it's getting dark already.
Yep.
But I just thought, I work in the electrical department, so I know about light bulbs, and I'll probably change some of the bulbs in the bathroom to a 5,000K, some
Yes.
daylight bulb, so he can
Yep.
get some kind of.
So you want to start changing over, get the fluorescent, get the
At least 5,000K.
and get the mercury out of your bulbs and replace it with full spectrum lighting. Yeah.
Yeah, I have the same issue. That's the vanity in the bathroom.
Yeah. Yeah. We got a lot of
That's a lot.
Bonnie.
I have a problem from Saturday night to Sunday morning, or well, Monday morning early,
Okay.
because I do TBO and I serve a meal and I go home and go to bed and I get up early.
Yeah.
Go to church. After church here, I drive 3.5 hours to Red Lake, do church up there, serve a meal, clean up, then drive 3.5 hours back. I don't get back home until 1 or 1:30.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, so how do I adjust? I sleep most of the, well, rest on Mondays. I don't do anything on Mondays.
Yep, I was definitely going to say that, was to try to, like, if you know you have that really busy schedule where going into it, you want to be rested, and going out of it, you want to rest.
Okay, so I'm doing the right thing, but
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, yeah, we got some great takeaways.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I have a few more things to talk about, so you guys can't leave just yet. But those were some really great takeaways. If you have anything else throughout the week that you think about, we're here to help. So feel free to reach out. You know where to find us. But I just want to give you guys a special thank you for coming, because I know it's hard sometimes. You have a busy life, especially going into the holidays. So we really appreciate you being here, and I hope that you'll leave feeling a little more encouraged and energized, knowing what to do, and hopefully you have some action steps of how you can prioritize your sleep, because it's one of the most powerful tools, not just for healing your body, but also your mind and spirit. And a couple like takeaways for me, I guess, was some of the things Dr. P was saying. For me, the conclusion was that like sleep isn't optional. It's something that is essential, and our bodies need it to function. And if we're ever stressed or we have a misalignment in our nervous system, that can a lot of times block that really good restorative sleep. So it's really good to, like, if I sleep wrong, I'm like, Dr. Dad,
Yeah.
I did not sleep good. And he knows, like, he adjusts me differently if I didn't sleep well. And so that's really good. But like, most importantly, your body was designed to heal. We say all the time, your body doesn't need any help healing. It just doesn't need any interference. And a lot of times, like how we sleep, that can interfere with the rest of our body. And so sleep is one of the greatest allies in helping us to heal and get that recovery time in. If anything wasn't clear tonight, or you have more questions, whether that's with your packets, with, yes? Yeah?
So if I buy supplements tonight, should I wait until tomorrow to take them, besides the magnesium?
If you're deficient, I would. Yeah. So I would take some. I would take some now. I mean, if you're deficient, especially like the magnesium, because a lot of people are deficient. Vitamin D. If you're not supplementing with vitamin D, like, I know we didn't really talk about that, but so many people are deficient. When they get their blood tested, they're typically single digits. And vitamin D, it's actually a hormone, but they call it a vitamin, and it is so beneficial, and it's kind of a catch-all. So, at the top of your list should be vitamin D, because
especially living in Minnesota.
Yeah. Yep. And so, yeah, definitely. I'm the number one question I get is like with that a lot is, when do I take it? When you're most consistent, to be the most consistent. So I'd rather have you take it whenever you're the most consistent. That said, the best time would be, giving your body a chance to digest, and not taking a bunch of them right before you go to bed, because your body is meant to rest, not like, break down and digest and everything. So you want to give your body a rest. So ideally, morning, afternoon, before 2 p.m., right? Give your body a chance to like break that down, versus popping a bunch and then going right to bed. like that doesn't do your body good.
Any other questions? Okay, well, if you do think of anything, again, we're here to help, so please reach out. We do two exciting things. We did record tonight's workshop. So I'm going to upload that to our YouTube channel so that you can rewatch it, or maybe something was said tonight that you're like, oh, this person really needs to hear this. So maybe a friend or a family member, so you can share that with them. And then we have...
Yeah, I'm excited.
We have our next class. It's called the Younger Tomorrow Makeover. So that's February 26th, 6:30. I know February, already talking about 2026. Craziness. I can't believe it myself. But this one is not just for older people. It's not just for middle-aged people. It's not just for young people. It's for everybody. And we're going to be learning a lot about how to reverse aging from the inside out. So that's supporting hormones. That's your metabolism, your energy, even your skin, inflammation, and just overall vitality. So if you found value tonight, I promise you'll find value at the next class too. And then don't forget about the workshop discount. So again, if you get 1 or 2 items, that's 10% off, or that's 10% off. 3 or more is 15% off. And then if you get the bundle, that's 20% off. If something's out of stock, we will still get you the discount. We just had our Black Friday sale last month, so we're a little short on some things, but we will get you the things and we'll let you know when they come in. And then other than that, again, questions, let us know. We'll be here for a little while, but again, thank you guys for hanging out with us, investing in your health, and we hope that you guys have a safe drive home. And most importantly, you learn how to sleep smarter. So thanks for coming, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Good job.